Phone the record collectors now on Shrewsbury 248 321.
Capitol Records, very, very nice recording. It'll set you back these days about £5-6. Lovely little instrumental. Got a competition results. I think I'll better give those out. Last week we played Levi Jackson, and we played that beautiful record, This Beautiful Day. And we had a pile of cards in from all Wolverhampton, Birmingham, lots from Birmingham, all from the Birmingham area. But we picked two in the end, and it just says here, one's literally put the basics and one's gone into as much as possible. So I'll read out the one, well, in fact, a lot of them put in what I call the big details. But of the two that we picked, I'll read what one says. Levi Jackson is better known as Solomon King, whose biggest hit was She Wears My Ring. It was number 3 in 1968. This Beautiful Day was originally released in 1969 as the B-side of Say a Little Prayer for Me. Columbia DB 8676 and reissued as Levi Jackson in 1971 on Columbia DB 8807. Well, it says at the bottom, regards, MJ. So Mick Jones, 91 The Oval, Smethwick in Worley, you know that you won one copy of that CD, and the other one goes to a gentleman who, in an area where I was just looking through, there's a record fair coming up in about 2 or 3 weeks' time. This is Wayne Gormley from 31 Buck Street, St John's, Worcester. So both of you, you'll get a copy each. We'll get them parcelled up tonight, and you'll get that lovely UK Soul on Goldmine.
Just to tell you, coming up on the programme tonight, John Otway, survivor of Pound Pan, the man who can show you how to spend $250,000 in only 2 months, will be on the programme in about 10 minutes from now. We're talking to Reg Presley about the secrets behind the amazing success of Wet Wet's Wet's hit, and also a little bit of the secrets behind the Trogs sometime after our phone-in. Now, our phone-in, if you've never tuned to the programme before, and you just wonder what your records are worth, or your memorabilia is worth, then we are here to help you. Our lines are open. The number is 01 743 248 321, and we are as near as your telephone. So all those, and also record once. If you particularly say, I do wish I had that record, and where is it now? Then out there's loads of people can really help. So 01 743 248 321, and don't be shy. We got Peter Henstock there, and we've got Tony Fry to take your calls, and you don't have to come out here always. If you want those records once, call us now. 248-321 Shrewsbury. Today, by the way, is in fact John D. Loudermont's birthday. Herb Albert celebrates, perhaps he doesn't want reminding, it's his birthday today. Also Angus Young of AC/DC, it's his birthday today. Al Goodman of Girls, it's his birthday. Richard Chamberlain's birthday today. It was today, of course, that Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon first hit the UK charts. And it was today that Lou Reed first entered the US top 40 with Walk on the Wild Side. Jimi Hendrix was set fire to his guitar for the very first time at Finsbury Park in 1967, and he was with people like rather smooth chaps like Engelbert Humperdinck and the Walker Brothers when he set fire to his guitar. That's all happened on this day. 20 minutes past 7, time for a little bit of music, and the music I'm going to play you a couple of tracks from a band called Smokies. You've probably learnt that Alan Barton was killed last week. I'm trying to get hold of a member of Smokey to do a proper tribute to the band, and but haven't managed to do that yet. I expect they're all in shock, but I'm going to play you one or two Smokey tracks just because of that. That, of course, is Smokey. Don't play that rock and roll for me. And that comes from an album by Smokey. You're tuned to the Record Collectors with Mike Adams and Chris Savory across the Midlands. We are as near as your telephone, so you're very welcome to take part in the programme. If there's anything that, any records that you would like to have or acquire, any valuations that we could have a stab at, we don't always get it right, but we do our best, give it our best shot, then give us a call now. That is 01, mustn't forget the 1, 01 743 248 321. That's 01 743 248 321. And as I'm working on doing a proper tribute to Smokey, and I'm hoping to get one of the band members in. So far, no luck, as you know. Our friend, sadly, Alan Barton was killed last week. And lots of great hits Smokey did throughout the 70s. Competition question. I'll repeat the competition question. Who was Len Fairclough's son, way back in time, who became a massive international superstar? and in fact a very, very big star in another part of the world right now, has a daily show. If you think you know who we're talking about, you'll be getting signed one of his autographs and another prize as well. Write to Mike Adams and Chris Savory, P.O. Box 397, Shrewsbury, SY1 3TT. P.O. Box 397, Shrewsbury, SY1 3TT.
Right, let's tell you what's happening in the area in the next week or so. Friday 7th of April, it's Moggy and Good Rocking tonight. That's the Cheadle Sports and Social Club, Councillor Lane in Cheadle in Cheshire. The Golden Torch Revival takes place on Friday, May the 12th. And that's got Keith Minchell, Colin Curtis, Ian Turner, Johnny Beggs, Dave Everson and Kev Roberts. That's from 9 till 2 and it takes place at the King's Hall, Stoke-on-Trent. So the King's Hall, Stoke-on-Trent, that's for all you soul fans. Friday, May the 12th. Not many record fairs around this weekend, but we'll tell you what there is. And I can tell you that Ludlow is cancelled tomorrow. I can tell you that for a start. Ludlow is cancelled. But tomorrow there is one at Hatherton United Reformed Church Hall. That's in Walsall, and it's right next to the Gala Baths. So what have we got here? Jukebox Giants, starring Bobby V, Take Good Care of My Baby, with the Crickets, Herman's Hermits and the Ricochet Band. And what details have we got coming up in our area? All right, May the 4th, Alexandra Hall on May the 4th. Those in North Wales, Llandudno. Yes, Llandudno, at the North Wales Theatre. And that's not until May the 7th. And I think that's all. But have we got anything here? Angela Derber sent us that in. And let's see what she says. Anything special? Yes, she said, I saw my name included on the new Finbar Doo-Wop CD. I'm an illustrious company, aren't I? I haven't done much to deserve such an accolade. I'm very honoured. The songs on the CD, on the new Finbar Doo-Wop CD, are a must for hardcore doo-wop fans. Hope you'll play some more over the coming weeks. We certainly will, Angela. We certainly will. By the way, Angela, I picked up some Bobby V sheet music today, but I know you're not really that interested. But I've got a letter here from Bill Huxley. Now, I met Bill last week at the Hanley YMCA Record Fair. Bill, actually, he, besides being a fanatic of this programme and a fanatical record collector, also runs various publications to do with antique machinery, especially in the farming side. And basically, what he says is, here's after the Wurzel's Combine Harvester album, unused or very good condition. And basically, he's looking for at least 2 copies because he goes around the country demonstrating and showing off and displaying antique farming machinery. And he's had quite a few people come to him and say, look, Bill, we know you're into records. Can you get us the album? Combine Harvester by the Wurzels. And he said, I can pick the single up left, right and centre, but not the album. He's also after a Cajun album by Jimmy C. Newman, anything by Jimmy C. Newman, and also a yodeling one, and it's Margot and Marie Helling Yodelers. So can you help him with, I think it's Margot and Marie Helling Yodelers. His number is Stoke-on-Trent, and you can either telephone him or fax him on 01782 566 043. 01782 566 043. And last but not least, a couple of other record fairs before I forget them. The big G-Mex is on this week at G-Mex in Manchester. 500 odd stalls, lots and lots of things to look at. That's on tomorrow and Sunday, and I think it's 10:30 until 5 o'clock. Just to say, Mike, happy 57th birthday.
A few added there, Savoury, but I don't mind. Just to say, you mentioned the Alexandra Hall, because I know there's a lot of Bobby V and the Crickets fans there. Just say the Alexandra Hall, for those, is in Birmingham, and the number in Birmingham is 021. Oh, it's 01, it'd be 0121, no one did, 643 1231. That's wonderful. That's the Alexandra Hall in Birmingham. That's when the Crickets and Bobby V are together. That's the 4th of May. Also, we have, of course, listeners in Cheshire as well. And the same team on the 3rd of May would be at Stockport at the Davenport Theatre, Stockport in Cheshire. So that's worth noting. And I know we've got a few listeners as far north as in Merseyside, and they're at the Empire. And that I think you'll find that in the phone book. It's 051 709 1555. What is interesting about the tour? It's a short tour. But it is that Sonny Curtis Jerry Allison and Joe B. Maudlin. Very rarely do we actually get the Maudlin is together on the in the cricket show. We usually get Jerry and we get Joe, but we don't get Sonny on it often. So this is really this is really a cricket's tour. And of course the great Bobby V. Herman's Hermits, of course. In fact, that isn't with Peter Noon. But here's one more track from that great band Smokey. And that's Needles and Pins from Smokey. We're hoping to do a special feature, I said, on Smokey. I just played a couple of tracks there because of the accident the band had last week. And I'm sorry to say that Alan Barton lost his life. And there we have John Otway, and that's a track from his brand new album. You're tuned to The Record Collectors with Mike Adams and Chris Savory. The time is 6 minutes to 8 o'clock. If you've been trying to get through and our phones have been extremely busy, and we have been very busy, you can get through now. 01743 248 321. We've had a bit of a mad rush. Peter Henstock and Tony Fry have been manning the battleships, and so you can get through now if you want to actually any record wants that you particularly like. Records lost and found will help you on the show. And if in fact you want to find out what your memorabilia and pop and rock are worth from the past to the present, we'll do our very best to help you. Night time in the Midlands with Midlands Radio. To the Record Collectors across the Midlands on your favourite local BBC radio station with Mike Adams and Chris Savory. Coming up on the show, we're talking to Reg Presley of the Trogs and finding out a lot about the Wet Wet Wet's big hit and a lot more about the Trogs later this evening, about 8:30. We're doing a Trog special. And of course, between then, 8 and 8:30, we will in fact be having you as our guests as we try and value your records. Competition winner last week for Smokey. Very quickly, we'll tell you this. Smokey's Guinness last week. Thank you very much indeed. A lot of detail from Mr. H. Lucas of Selly Oak for all of the hits, just about everything about Smoko you ever wanted to know. And Mr. Lucas, a prize will be heading your way.
Yes, competition this week. If you'd like a copy of the Premature Adulation, then just tell us the answer very simply to this question. From which town did John Otway originate? From which town did John Otway originate? Give us the answer on a postcard, preferably please to The Record Collectors, BBC Radio Shropshire, P.O. Box 397, Shrewsbury, SY1 3TT. Let's have it by next Friday. OK, we've got the phone in after the news, but right now here is the BBC News through the Midlands.
BBC Radio.
On BBC Local Radio in Shropshire, North Staffordshire, South Cheshire and the West Midlands, we present Mike Adams and Chris Savory, the Record Collectors, from now until 9 tonight.
With you in the Midlands, BBC Radio.
Yes, indeed, folks. We're the other side of the line. Our number, as always, is 01743 248 321. Your chance to catch us out. And the first gentleman is Terry Pears from Swinton. I think it's in Manchester. Hello, Terry.
Good evening, Twosome.
Good evening to you, sir. And what's your question to the gruesome twosome?
My question is it possible for anybody in the Midlands area to supply me with an HMV single by Eddie Fisher, Wish You Were Here?
Wish You Were Here, Eddie Fisher. That was issued in 1953, and it was a chart success, was it not? Wish You Were Here.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the record number 7M159, and just to tell you, they have to pay somewhere between, depending on condition, between about £5 to £7, that kind of area for the Eddie Fisher record. Are you a big Eddie Fisher fan, Terry?
I am, yes.
How many records have you got a lot of his records?
I've got a lot of his records. I've got this particular record on a 78. The reason I want the 45 is because, for obvious reasons, it's better to have the vinyl.
Yes.
And I want it for the B-side. I've got Wish You Were Here.
Right.
How many times on different LPs?
That's a fool was I.
That's the one.
Fool Was I, yeah.
Now, can I ask you a question? In 1953-54, when Britain issued this single, am I right in thinking that RCA in America would have sent over tapes to RCA in Britain, and they selected this "Wish You Were Here" along with "A Fool Was I" from an LP. Am I right in thinking that?
What
They
normally
would have probably sent over over a copy
they would
of
send
the master
yeah,
tapes.
they would have taken probably a first-generation dub, and usually at that time the Americans really dictated just what the companies in Europe, particularly in Britain, they would say, this is our recommendation, these are the tracks we'd like to see issued, and they to some extent we got our own back with the British invasion of the 60s, but they did sort of request. I would think they would say, this is what we would like to see issued in the United Kingdom.
The reason I'm asking, Mike, is this, that would there be an LP with this track on? Because the American single of "Wish You Were Here" has "The Hand of Fate" on the B-side and not "A Fool Was I."
Now, "The Hand of Fate" didn't come out over here as a single.
Probably didn't.
No. Now, if I'm right, Eddie Fisher albums over here they weren't issuing them in 53. It may have been
55.
55.
It must be, yeah, because when I bought the 78, I had the choice of the 78 or the 45, but
Yeah.
I didn't have anything to play on.
Got it.
And then a couple of years later, when I did have the radiogram that played the long players, I bought Eddie Fisher's 2 10-inch albums.
My Serenade Is You, is that one?
Serenade to You.
Time for Romance as well.
That, yeah. Time for Romance, that was the one Eddie Fisher sings, Time for Romance, I think. There was
Yes.
only the 2 10-inch albums,
That's right.
and that track wasn't on any of them.
No.
But what I'm trying to get at is there an LP with "A Fool Was I"? Would you think so, from America?
Right, well, I think what we've actually got to do, rather than say yes or no, because I wouldn't know personally, I would say let's throw it back to the listener. All right, we can take your number, and also, I think I got you saying that you were from Swinton in Manchester.
Manchester, yeah.
There is a big record fair on tomorrow.
Yeah, GMEX.
At
yeah.
GMEX. Now, I'm not going to say there's anything there because obviously I'm not there looking through, if you know what I mean. Until one actually goes to a fair, one never knows. But GMEX can't be that far from you.
No, it isn't really.
It could just be worth go on. You're going into Manchester. You might as well pop in for a while. You could just come across somebody who says, look, I've not got that stuff here, but at home I have.
Yeah, that's
The other thing you can...
Shops trying, then let's keep trying for you on the radio, because someone is going to either be able to help you or is at least going to turn around and say, listen, that query with the Eddie Fisher, I can tell you now that the answer is. Now, if you're Manchester, you must be 0161.
Yeah.
Yeah, where do we go from 0161?
793
793.
Yeah.
6999.
6999. 0161 793 6999. And basically the query is Eddie Fisher.
Yeah.
It's on HMV, came out in 1953, 7M159. You're very interested in getting hold of a single. You would also like to know if there was if there were any kind of American albums of Eddie Fisher released at that time.
With that on it.
With that on it, and it's the
Fool Was I.
B-side you're after.
Yeah,
A fool was I.
I.
See what we can do, and as I say, you've got GMEX on tomorrow. 2, 3. I don't know how many stalls there are. I know it's massive. It fills the whole
A
place.
lot. Anyway, Terry, stand by your phone. Somebody may be able to help you. That's Terry Pierce from Swinton. Let's move on quick. Lots of calls tonight. Our next call is Martin Astley from Quinton. I think the Quinton's in Birmingham.
Cheers.
Martin, what's your question to us?
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
I've got in front of me a connoisseur rock profile collection,
CD.
Richie Blackmore
CD.
Volume 1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
CD.
No, this is vinyl.
Vinyl.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
This suggests to me that there was further volumes to follow. Were there any issued?
Ooh, not. Connoisseur collection.
Yeah, I've got the number if that's any use
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that. Put it this way, all I can tell you is if there are any issued, they would have been later on CD. I know there's lots of Richie Blackmore fans out there because if I'm right in thinking that the 7th or the 4th. The 14th is his birthday,
right.
I think.
It's his
Friday,
50th
Friday
birthday,
that's right.
actually.
Is it Friday the 14th?
It is. It is his 50th birthday.
Yes, Friday the 14th, and was trying to get Roger Dobson, who's been very involved with him and other members of the bands he's been with, to
Yeah.
see if we could get something going, you know, but I've heard nothing at the moment.
He's
But I'm sure there are fans out there who are going to tell you whether this album actually was a volume 1 or whether there are further volumes. Again, I don't know. I don't know how many have been issued.
Yeah.
So we can't answer that. What I will say while you're on is Ray Mills wrote to us and he says that Richie Blackmore's, it is the 40th of April and he will be 50
That's
on
correct.
that day.
That's right.
And he keeps threatening to come in, Ray, but till you arrive here, I won't believe it myself.
But your number, Ray, is 0121.
No, this is not. This is Ray. This is Ray.
Sorry.
Mills. This is Ray Mills that actually wrote in about Richie
you wrong
Blackmore.
there.
We are talking to Martin. Hello,
Sorry,
Martin.
Martin.
Your number, Martin, is 0121
421
421
42
42.
88.
Right, let's repeat that back. That's 0121 424
421 4288.
88.
That's right.
0121 421 4288.
88. Okay then.
Can I just quickly say, I saw John Otway live years and years ago.
Right.
He was brilliant then.
Oh, well, I mean, we've had fun with him on the programme tonight, and obviously, I mean, the fact is, the man, his talent, when you just look at it, it appears, and his album's quite a cracking album, actually.
This was in the Club Lafayette in Wolverhampton,
Oh, yes.
and he was brilliant.
I used to have some good soul nights there as well.
Yeah, well, that doesn't appeal to me. That
No,
much.
but I know it had a reputation. Shall we say it was one of those places that people knew that club was known throughout the Midlands?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much indeed, Martin.
Very much indeed.
Bye-bye.
Thank
That's
you, bye-bye.
bye-bye. Martin Astley calling us from Birmingham. The time is 16 minutes past 8 o'clock. Just to loads of mail here. I've got to get through one or two of these items because it's not very fair to you all. I've got a letter from Philip. Looks like Philip Cale from Wolverley in Worcestershire. Dear Mike and Chris, I just had to write and tell you that yours was the very first radio programme in the United Kingdom to mark the 35th anniversary of Jim Reeves, first entering our British charts. Since then, Mike and Chris, Jim's anniversary has been marked over a dozen BBC local radio stations, and there was even eight record feature on a commercial radio station. The 35th anniversary was marked on the John Tatum show on March 24th with He'll Have to Go, blah, blah, blah. Two more were to follow, but congratulations, Mike and Chris, for being the first to mark 35 years since Jim Reeves first entered the charts, Philip. Dear me, I don't know. I mean, what is he after? Now, we have some here, which in fact are almost fingers down the throat, really. But you're right.
Yeah, we've had some feedback on Richie Blackmore. Right, here we go. Tony Pierce was rung in to say, yes, there is a volume 2. So that sorts that one out. There is a volume 2. There is also a Rainbow Family album, which may also be of interest as well. So that answers that little query. A few record fairs I've mentioned coming up. You have the United Reformed Church next to the Gala swimming pool in Warsaw. That is on tomorrow from the usual 10 until 4. Ludlow tomorrow is cancelled. I got a call to say that a little bit of a problem with the room, so they're all going up to GMEX, which says to me that GMEX is on tomorrow in Manchester. GMEX is, by the way, is a big like an exhibition hall. It's a bit like the NEC. It's in the centre of Manchester. It's off Deansgate, I think, somewhere like that. That's on tomorrow. That's on Sunday. It's 10:30 to 5 each day. One or two next week, just to mention that Worcester is on, first one this year, at the St George's Roman Catholic Parish Hall, which is on the junction of City Walls and Lowesmore. That is definitely on the 8th of April. And on Sunday the 9th, it's the one up in Crewe, and that is the Rolls-Royce factory, Pims Lane in Crewe.
Is it one in Walsall tomorrow or not?
Yeah, that's the one I've just mentioned.
Sorry, Chris, I was just reading this letter here at the same time. I just wondered if you covered it. Mr. Doody of Purton in Wolverhampton actually written to us. He just says, great show. No good look at me for any money, actually. 17 minutes past 8 o'clock. Mike and Chris, the record collectors. We're as near as your phone, as always, 01743 248 321. Let's now talk to Alan Jackson from Birmingham. Alan, what's your question to the Gruesome Twosome?
Good evening. I've got 378 I'd like you to value.
We'll have a crack at them, yeah.
Yeah. One is Only You by the Hilltoppers.
Oh, yes. That came out in 1956.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I Talk to the Waves, Slim Whitman.
Yeah.
And Tennessee Wick Walk by Bonnie Lou.
Right, let's go first to the Hilltoppers.
Not a lot.
Now, you said, did you say 78 or single?
78.
Right, 78 is... It's not a lot. I would say it goes around the £5-6 mark. The single, interestingly enough, goes for something like about 25 pounds.
Oh.
Right. Now, the second one you had, I didn't hear, but I think you said the last... Did I hear you say the last one was Bonnie Lou?
Tennessee Wigwalk with Bonnie Lou.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct.
And what was the other one you said? Because I missed...
Talk to the Waves, Slim Whitman.
Oh, Slim Whitman. That was on
London American.
London American. Again, about the same price. About the same price. Singles, still again a bit more. Let's go to the other one you mentioned, which was Bonnie Lou.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. What was the title? Because I missed the
Tennessee
title.
Wigwalk.
Tennessee Wigwalk. Right. That was one of the early ones, and actually, it's a typical. It's like the answer to the first one. It's £5-6 on Parlophone.
Yeah.
For 78. £20-25 for single.
Right. I mean,
That's the period where the singles are worth more than the 78s.
Yeah, the thing is, the golden rule for a newer listener...
53.
53, yes it was. And if you, in fact, use 70, the newer the 78, generally speaking, the more valuable it tends to be. Thanks for the call. Thank you, Alan.
Okay, thank you.
But Alan Jackson calling us from Birmingham. If you've just joined us, where have you been? Coming up on the programme tonight, we'll be talking to Reg Presley of the Trogs and finding out about some of the secrets about the Trogs, UFOs to boot, and all about Wet, Wet, Wet. And I gather Paul McCartney's now teamed up with the vocal talents of Yoko as well as Linda. And let's go on to our next caller, which is Kay Derry. Kay Derry from Stoke-on-Trent. Kay Derry, welcome to the programme.
Hello.
What's your question to the two of us?
Well, I've got several 78s.
Yes.
27, in fact, so you can't go through them all, obviously.
No.
But I've listed them, and I just wondered if there's anywhere, sort of finding out if they are of any value. Or...
Well, I can tell you that regularly in your part of the world there's the YMC Record Fair, and where there is a free valuation service, and Chris actually operates a free valuation service in that part of the world. But, well, you can fire one or two of us, two questions at us now, if you like.
Well, a couple of Benny Goodman, but they're 1938, so
right.
I wonder if I've got the numbers, if that's any help.
Right.
B8568.
Right.
And B8798.
Was that on Capital?
HMV.
HMV, right. Now, we have a gentleman called Alistair Jones, who actually appears on the programme fairly regularly. Those sort of records that pay tend to be about £3 or £4.
Right.
And there is quite a big Benny Goodman, but that's in mint condition.
Yes,
but,
these are.
Right, then. Any more modern artists?
No, they're all sort of 1940, 43.
Right.
That's about the sort of era, really.
Well, there will be a feature coming up shortly with Alistair, specifically on this programme, in your Radio Stoke, and Alistair Jones will be valuing records of this particular period.
I see.
And if you want to write to us with your 78 list, I will see Alistair gets a copy of it. And if you can write to Alistair Jones...
Just a moment.
All right.
Alistair...
Jones,
yeah.
And it's care of the Record Collectors.
Record.
I'm doing this without his permission, actually. But I'm knowing about mine. And that's P.O. Box 397.
397.
And that's Shrewsbury, SY1.
XY.
S for sugar, Y for York. 1.
Yeah.
3 TT.
3TT. Shrewsbury.
That's in Shrewsbury.
That's right.
Yes.
Put BBC Radio Shropshire on it as well.
Yes.
BBC.
Even though we're in dear old Radio Stokes territory coming to you now.
Yes, right, I realise that. And what about classical records? Do you know of anybody who I could...
We're not really, to say we're both looking at each other, we have to be honest, there's things we know something about, some things we know little about, some things we know very little about.
There are very, very few classical records worth what I call any money.
Right.
At most record fairs, you will see classical albums up between £1 and £2 a copy.
Yes.
Generally speaking, there are exceptions, but the exceptions are so few and far between that you know, no disrespect, but I very much doubt that you would even have one. I've never come across one of these rare classical albums, and I've been in and out of records for a long time. I'm talking of 2 decades of, you know, buying, selling, swapping and that, and I've never come across any of these rare classical records.
Right.
Anyways, but the ones which it's the turn of the century in the early 20s, where in fact these records are. Radio 4 did a program about rare classical recordings, and truly, it's like a needle in a haystack. There are so few that really fetch money. And so, but for the other items, Alistair Jones, sometime within the next 2 months, and it'll be on this channel.
Right.
I was going to say, are you actually wanting to get rid of them then?
Yes. I mean, it seems so wicked to me. Just
does.
put them in the dustbin or put tape.
Yes.
Because it's your area, I could give you a name and contact somebody like, because it's Radio Stoke. What about getting in touch with Mel? Mel Hill does a jazz program on a
yes, that's a good
Tuesday evening.
Yes, he does, yes.
If you contact Mel, I can't tell you where he lives on air, but I know where he lives. But if you contact Mel and just write to him and say you've got these, he may even put something out just to say, look, there's a lady here with all these lovely old 78s in brilliant condition. She lives in the area. She would love to pass them on. And I'm sure then he could help you.
Yeah.
He might even play some of your Benny Goodman for you, Kay. Okay, thank you for your call. Mel will help.
Thank you.
Mel Hill will get a few extra listeners for that, and he's up there in Radio Stoke. You're tuned to the Record Collectors with Mike Adams and Chris Savory. Just to tell you that who was Ken Fairclough's son, who became an international superstar pop-wise? Write to us, P.O. Box. That's Mike Adams and Chris Savory, the Record Collectors, P.O. Box 397, Shrewsbury, SY1 3TT, SY1 3TT, and you will be getting an autograph of this superstar, plus some gramophone recordings, not necessarily of that star, but certainly 1 or 2 nice recordings as well. David Jones from Birmingham, welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
Sorry to keep you waiting, David.
Thank you. I've got a record here. It's on C for Miles, and it's called 20 Classic Instrumental Rarity.
Oh, it's a great album.
Lovely.
It's a good album. We've used that album many
a time.
I see.
Many a time. And did they not follow it up? Well, I say follow it up, but there are quite a few CDs in that kind of sphere that Sequel put out 3, didn't they? Instrumental Gem, was it Instrumental Diamonds?
Diamonds.
The Red Price Combo, Thunder Company.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Thunder Company's Brian Bennett.
Yeah.
The Federals.
Yeah. Boot.
The Gladiators.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nero and the Gladiators, yes.
Right. What's your
actual question?
What was your actual query? I apologise for
Getting carried away with himself.
Yeah. What was the question?
Well, I want to know how much it's worth, if it's worth.
You would pick them up probably at record fairs for somewhere around about 5.
It's a nice, nice. It's got rare tracks.
It is nice. I mean,
Right.
I think is it the Federals doing Boot Hill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, things like you see.
Night of the Vampire.
Is the Scorpions on there? Rocking at the Phil. Things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay then.
They're nice.
Right. Yes, it is nice. And the one I've got has never been played.
Yeah, it's just lovely. It's just lovely to hear that
About
music.
£5 or £6 then.
Yes, yeah.
Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the call.
Pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That was David Jones calling us from Birmingham. I think we've got time for a call. We'll have another call. In actual fact, they're busy. I know we've got several calls, but we have the Trogs, actually. Those wild things themselves. By the way, just tell you, the Trogs, along with Freddie and the Dreamers, along with Wayne Fontana, are appearing in Stoke-on-Trent. I think it's at the Victoria Hall next Friday. Let's move on to, hopefully I've got Chris Turnbull from Telford in Shropshire. Chris, hello.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. What's your question to Mike and Chris?
A couple of valuations for you, if you could, please.
Okay.
I've got in front of me here the Cliff Richard 40 Golden Grades.
Yes.
It's a sort of like 2 EPs.
Oh, yes.
7-inch singles in a sort of miniaturised version of the album.
That's right. I used to have that, actually, and it is much sought after by Cliff Richard fans.
Is it really?
Yes, it was. In fact, that was actually issued to radio stations.
Right.
What
yes.
you've got there,
Yeah.
and is like 2 mini albums,
That's
which
right.
are and. It does change hands. Chris is just checking the price, but it used to change hands with Cliff Richard fans.
Yes.
It was certainly, you're talking about £40-50. Now, Chris is looking at an up-to-date price guide on that, but it was one which Cliff Richard fans loved to get their hands on and was quite hard. It was, I put it in the Thunderbirds or Go League, actually. It was one of the ones which you rarely see of Cliff.
Right. Oh,
have you got a copy of it?
Sorry?
You got a copy of it?
I have indeed, right in front of me.
Where did you get it from, Chris?
Well, actually, a mate of mine's mum used to work in, am I allowed to mention the shop name?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I think it was Oldies Unlimited in Telford.
Oh, yes.
Years ago. I mean, I'm going back about 17.
We're going back to St George's then.
That's right, yeah. And he just had it lying around in his collection, and I just picked it up. You know, never seen it before, so and I've had it ever since. So.
It's a gatefold sleeve, and with a selection of some of the classics from Cliff on it, and it certainly is something which is auctionable and is in fact very hard to get hold of. Oh. And I would certainly, I know myself that I had 2-3 copies of that at one time, and I would say somewhere around about mint, about £40 or more.
Really? Oh, that's interesting.
Okay, anything else, Chris, quickly?
Yeah, just a quick one. I've got a Bruce Springsteen Born in the USA box set, the 12-inch singles in a box set. All the singles that were listed from that album in a box set form. Yep. All 4 12-inch singles, plus a little 7-inch single and a poster in that, all boxed. So,
if I say that they turn up with amazing regularity at record fairs, I'm not saying it's not worth money. Right. What I am saying is it turns up so often that, all right, you're looking at, in theory, I think you've got, there's like you said, there's the 4 12-inches, aren't there?
That's right,
There's the 7-inch now.
Yes.
Was there not a booklet or a poster with it?
There was a poster with it.
It was a poster.
That's right.
Right. People put about £18 to £20 on them, but the number I have seen, I know some dealers say to me, Chris, if somebody came along and gave me £12 for it, I'd be happy.
Right.
You know, sometimes you can list a thing, and you see them turn up, and it's like one or two of the Elvis box sets.
Yes.
I've seen one or two of the Elvis box sets turn up regularly at fairs, and you go to a dealer and they'll say it's listed at 35, but if you sell it for 20, consider you've done well.
Oh, right, okay.
You know, so that, I hope that's an answer for you.
No, that's brilliant. I'm pleased on the Cliff Richard, so that's
good.
Pleased me too.
Good.
Okay, Chris.
Yeah, many thanks.
Thanks for the call.
Yeah, all the best.
Bye-bye. That's Chris Turnbull calling us from Telford. If you're joining us, you're tuned to the Record Collectors with Mike Adams and Chris Savory. Just a quick chance, Chris, to plug what's on the show next week. We've got 30 seconds here.
We're going to be finding out who put the whiskey in the well and why they had bloodshot eyes. Can you work it out from there? Yes, we're going to have a guy coming in who's just put out a book on Mr. Blues himself, Mr. Wenoni Harris.
Wyoni, or even next week on the programme, one of the most collectible artists. Right, let's go to our next caller. This will be our last call, actually. Terry Shannon from Great Bar. Hello, Terry.
Hello.
How are you? I bet you've got a cracking question for us.
Well, I've got 2 singles and an album. These are what I've picked up at car boot sales, you know, because I like going around the boot sales looking at singles. This one, the first one, is at the Fontaine Sisters Chanson d'amour.
Oh, yes, Chanson d'amour, which was, of course, a Manhattan Transfer covered it later, of course.
And Art and Dottie Todd.
And Art and Dottie Todd, which, if you actually listen to Art and Dottie Todd, it's very hard to tell the difference between that and the fact, the big Manhattan Transfer version of it.
So there was a lot of difference in the years when it was done.
Yeah, but we played them side. We played them side by side. It was so. I mean, very little difference indeed, friends.
But anyway, go on to the Fontaine Sisters.
Fontaine Sisters, yes. You want to know?
What was the track?
What was the track?
Chanson d'amour.
Sorry. Yes.
One each.
You see, I say that's weird. I'm going to tell you tonight a little story. See, we're both getting old, and Mike was here for, so long, fiddling about with this CD player. I said, I can't get it going. Shows you how senile he's getting. I turn around and
switched it on.
Have you thought of switching it on? So
It was flashing a light at me, you see, so they had power in it.
All right, Chanson d'amour, it came out on London. It was your single or 78?
This is a single.
Yeah, it's about 10.
£10.
Yeah.
And there's another one by Patience and Prudence.
Gonna get along without you now?
I think it's Tonight You Belong to Me.
That was the first one. That's about £20. I know that
But
one.
This one it's got on it manufactured in Germany to Gold London label.
Yeah, you have not a British London. You have a German London. It's got GE. Is it got GEMA on it? Gemma.
Can't see that.
No. It should have that on it. Little box.
Unless it, like it said, manufactured in Germany.
Just got it's impressed in the vinyl.
Yeah, it's very much looks like a British London, but it is a German London.
Yeah.
And you can get German Brunswick and various others as well.
Quite collectible, but they're
still about the same. Around, well, I'd say about the same. No, I'd say about 15.
Generally speaking, the equivalent pressings in Germany are about 70 to 80%. But that gap is narrowing because, strangely enough, because the Germans also collect their own stuff naturally, and of course the power of the Deutschmark. Okay, Terry.
And I've got another one, an album, the JBs, Past the Peas. I picked up.
JBs.
Yeah.
JBs
on Polydor.
Mojo.
Mojo. Should be on street, that.
Yes. What the current price is at the moment, I wouldn't be sure of, because I'll tell you something, that funk stuff is rising so quickly. Is it a green cover with the band on the front?
It's a green cover.
Yeah.
It's a funny sort of design. It's like it's got the JBs in like a yellow sort of oval shape.
Yeah. If I told you that 5-6 years ago you'd have been lucky to get £5 or £6 for it, well, multiply that by 8.
Oh, good.
Do you know what that is? That's 40. It's all right. Somebody on the other listener's going to say, "Hang on, I can't work as fast as Terry." Yeah, it's £30-40.
Oh, I did well.
Yeah.
About 20 pence.
Oh well.
Okay, Terry. Thanks for your call. Okay. That's Terry Shannon. Terry Shannon from Great Bar, and. Well, we had so many calls tonight. I'm sorry about the loads that are waiting, but we have got the trogs, and we've got to play some of their music and take.